In the small village of Umwaka, where palm trees swayed like they had secrets, there lived a woman named Ngozi, famous for two things, her beauty and her appetite. She wasn't just a woman who loved food, she was a woman who dreamed of it. Ngozi's husband, Obina, was a patient farmer. His yam barn was never empty, and his love for her was steady like evening drums. But when Ngozi became pregnant, patience was not enough to prepare him for what came next. From the first moon, Ngozi's cravings began.
Oh, please, my love, just a few roasted snails with honey. For the baby.
You and this baby will eat me out of house and home.
She rolled her eyes. Do you want your child to come out without teeth? That afternoon, Obina was already at the stream with a basket and honey pot, but her cravings did not stop there. 1 week it was frog soup, the next, roasted millipede. Then python stew. The whole village gasped when they heard. Ngozi has lost her mind, they whispered.
Obina.
Who eats
I must
python?
have it.
But
For
Ngozi
our
didn't
child.
care. She said the baby spoke to her in her dreams, asking for things no human should want. Then one night, during the 9th month, she woke Obina with a scream. I want the heart of a twin python, she shouted. 2 heads in one body, that's what I want. If I don't eat it, I will die. Obina stared at her, horrified. Twin python? Ngozi, that's a forbidden creature. Elders say killing it brings curse. Then let the curse come, she hissed, because I will die without it. Obina refused. She refused food. Days passed. She grew pale and cold, whispering, 2 heads, 2 heads. The elders came. They begged her. They warned her. Nothing changed. On the 7th day, Obina broke. I cannot lose my wife, he said. He went into the deep forest with his brother and did the unthinkable. When they returned, they brought the small, strange python, its 2 heads still moving in different directions. Ngozi devoured its heart before anyone could stop her. That night, thunder cracked the sky, though no rain fell. Ngozi went into labor the next morning. The cries from her hut shook the entire compound. The midwife, Mama Ejima, shouted, Push! Ngozi screamed till her voice broke. Then, silence. When the midwife finally lifted the baby, everyone froze. A boy, alive, strong, but with 2 heads, one on each shoulder, both crying at once, and 12 fingers that twitched like small birds. Ngozi fainted. The midwife wrapped the child in cloth, whispering, Lord of heaven, what have you allowed? When Ngozi woke, she refused to look at the baby. I will not touch that thing, she said. Obina fell to his knees. Ngozi, it's our son. Your son, she spat. Mine died when that monster came out. They named him Kenechukwu, thank God anyway. As months passed, the child grew. The 2 heads spoke at different times. The right head Keen was calm and thoughtful. The left Chima was loud and curious. Sometimes they argued with each other, confusing everyone. One head laughed, the other frowned. One sang, the other yawned. The villagers whispered behind Ngozi's hut. The python heart she ate cursed her womb. Such a child brings strange spirits. Children ran away when they saw him crawling. Dogs barked for no reason. Ngozi stopped coming out. Obina tried to care for the boy, but even he began to look away. Then one night, when the moon was thin and sickly, Ngozi made her choice. While Obina slept, she wrapped the baby in a cloth, placed him in a woven basket, and walked deep into the forest. At the edge of the sacred grove, she knelt, trembling. I release you back to the spirits you came from, she whispered. She set the basket under a fig tree, turned, and ran. But the forest was not empty that night. Down by the stream, a woman named Ifeoma was washing cassava roots. She was a widow, barren, lonely, and forgotten. The villagers called her Mad Woman of the River because she spoke to the wind, but she always smiled even when mocked. That night she heard crying, 2 voices crying at once. She dropped her basket and followed the sound. When she saw the baby, she gasped, not from fear but awe. 2 heads, 2 voices, 2 lives in one. She picked him up gently. You poor star. The world threw you away because it did not understand you. She carried him home, warmed milk, and fed both mouths carefully. He drank like he had been waiting for her all his life. She named him Ejimadu. My hands are full of blessings. From that day, Ifeoma's house became alive again. When the neighbours mocked her, she said, If God gave me 2 mouths to feed, then he must trust my heart twice as much. Ejimadu grew fast, faster than other children. He learned to walk before he turned 1. By 3 he could speak, both heads taking turns finishing each other's words like twins playing with sound. At school he was both a wonder and a target. One boy pointed. "He has 2 heads." Another laughed. "He can cheat in exams with himself." The teacher, Mr. Ugo, tried to protect him. "This boy is gifted," he said. "His right head is logic, his left head is music." And he was right. One head solved arithmetic before the teacher finished writing. The other sang songs that made even the birds go quiet. Still, children teased, adults whispered. "Is he a blessing or a warning?" they said. Ifeoma told him every night, "You are not a mistake. You are 2 halves of the same miracle." Ejimadu would smile, both faces shining. "I have 2 heads to love you twice, Mama." When Ejimadu turned 16, strange things began happening. He started hearing things before they happened. One night he woke Ifeoma saying, "Mama, the river will rise tonight." She laughed. It hasn't rained in weeks. But at midnight, thunder broke the sky. The river flooded, washing away half the yam fields. The next week he said, "Don't go to the market tomorrow, there will be fire." She stayed home. That day a lantern exploded in the market stall. Word spread. "Two-headed boy can see the future." People who once mocked him now came to beg for help. "Will my son recover from fever? Will my harvest succeed?" he answered gently. Sometimes right, sometimes wrong. But the right times were enough to make him legend. The chief invited him to the palace. "Boy," he said, "your heads may guide this land. Tell me what the spirits want." Ejimadu bowed. "The spirits want peace. Stop fighting the river." The chief frowned. "What does that mean?" He smiled. "You build walls to block the river. The river remembers. But pride is thicker than wisdom." The chief ignored him. 2 moons later, the river flooded again. This time it swallowed the chief's house. People bowed before Ejimadu now. They called him Ezemuo, the spirit prince. But fame is a sharp knife. Some worshipped him. Others feared him. A few whispered that he was the python reborn. Far away, Ngosi's life had fallen apart. Her husband, Obinna, had left her, unable to forgive her cruelty. Her farm failed. Her beauty faded. Her sleep was full of crying voices. She heard 2 babies crying in every wind. One day, a trader passing through told her of a boy with 2 heads who lived by the river, a seer who saved the village from floods. Her heart stopped. She dropped her basket. 2 heads, she whispered. No, it can't be. But it was. She travelled 3 days to reach Umuaka. When she saw him, tall, calm, surrounded by people calling him Ezemo, her knees weakened. He looked at her, both faces tilting slightly, curious. The crowd made way. "Who are you?" he asked. She couldn't speak. Her throat closed. I'm your mother." Silence fell like a heavy cloth. "The right head," Kane said quietly. "The one who left us." "The left head," Chima whispered. "The one who cried for us in dreams." Ngozi burst into tears. "Forgive me. I was young, I was afraid. I thought I was cursed. I didn't know you were the blessing." The boy stepped closer. His 2 heads looked at her, one soft, one serious. "Fear feeds monsters," said Kane. "But love kills them," said Chima. He knelt and touched her hands. "I forgive you, twice." She sobbed until her heart felt light. The next season, famine struck. Rain stopped. The river turned thin, crops failed, goats died. People came to Ejimadu again. "Spirit Prince, save us," they cried. He closed both eyes. His 2 heads moved in opposite directions, one to the sky, one to the earth. "The spirits are not angry," he said. "They are waiting." He walked to the old fig tree where his mother once abandoned him. He knelt and placed both hands, all 12 fingers, on the ground. "If mercy is real, let it rain again." Thunder cracked. The sky darkened. Rain began to fall, slow at first, then heavy. People shouted and danced, but Ejimadu did not move. He stayed kneeling. When Ifeoma ran to him, his faces were smiling, peaceful, tired. The villagers lifted him, singing. He had fainted from exhaustion. They carried him to his hut. He woke hours later, both heads speaking softly at once. The river remembered. Years later, Ejimadu grew into a man of wisdom. He taught the village to share food, to care for the poor, to never mock those born different. When he spoke, it sounded like harmony, two voices blending perfectly. He used his 12 fingers to carve drums, flutes and masks, each one shaped like stories. Children followed him everywhere. They said, "He hears with 2 ears twice. He sees with 2 eyes twice. He loves with one heart, big enough for all of us." One day he gathered the village. "My mother who left gave me life. My mother who found gave me love." If you ever meet a child that scares you, remember, miracles often wear strange faces. When Ejimadu died, both heads smiled as if talking to each other one last time. They buried him under the fig tree where the story began. Rain fell that night, even though the sky had been clear all day. Till this day, villagers say when thunder rolls, you can hear 2 voices laughing softly in the wind. Children born with extra fingers are called Ejimadu's children, believed to carry double wisdom. And under the fig tree, if you listen closely, you'll hear a whisper that sounds like 2 boys humming one song. Fear divides, love unites. What the world calls strange, heaven calls complete. Fear sees curses where love sees miracles. Those who reject what they do not understand may abandon blessings meant to save them. Every life, no matter how different, carries 2 sides of a story, and only love can make them one.